across my neck. Shouldn't have done that. One down, one to go. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a good Friday night. It's the weekend. I think it's going to snow. I need to bring my sweater down here. My last heating system, like, it physically got hot and the plug got, so I tossed it because I'm not about to fires and me. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So today I am finishing up my Annette that I was supposed to finish up yesterday. Yesterday I was in like a weird headspace, but I'm going to finish it today. Everything's cut out. So I just need to like machine base the foam and then start putting it together. I think I should get it out within 2 to 3 hours, and then I can have my husband run it to the post office before it closes at 5. And then I'm gonna cut out my Ava. I am now like thinking of different things. I was going to do a very nautical print for my Ava bag for the tutorial, but as you guys watch Captain Logs, you know that I'm about to go embark on my con season, my convention season. So I'm actually thinking about making it a little bit nerdy, so that way I can have it for my inventory for one of the 4 conventions that I'm doing within the next 6 months. I just haven't figured out what. I thought some cool reverse applique or whatever. Yeah, the weather's not like it's the fall spring. Whenever it's fall spring, the weather flip-flops so tremendously. It's not even funny. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I have this really cool applique from Stitch, and I thought I might do an applique on the front of that pocket, something cute, or do Star Wars or Star Trek. I haven't figured out what I want to do just yet. I have a lot of really cool badges, and I thought it would be really cute if I made the backpack into a Lord of the Ring one and make it look like it's a camping bag. So I'm trying to figure that out, and then I'm going to cut that out, film that tonight, and edit it tonight. Then my husband's getting everything together for the wax canvas. We pretty much have everything. I just got to figure out what fabric. That's what's the procrastination, because I don't want to just wax random fabric that I may not use for a couple months. I want to wax it with the just a purpose of using it for one of these conventions. I have to place an order today, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to place it with Sally Tomatoes and or Emmeline bag, because the person asked me to make them a convertible tote, the convertible backpack, but they're going to France and Amsterdam, and they wanted the RFD fabric throughout the bag and a couple different safety procedures that I like to put on my bags for the people that do cross country. So I know for a fact the RFD fabric, you can get it from Sally Tomatoes. They carry it now. Emmeline bag has always carried it, and I believe Fabric Funhouse carries it. I'm just trying to figure out where I can get everything all at once. The person wants Iridescent hardware, and that's where at this time I don't think Sally Tomatoes is carrying that, and I might have to do an Emmeline bag one because they even have kits. But you could also buy kits separately here in America from like 2 Minutes to Stitch and a couple other places. I would so I'm going to be doing that. I have to look for that. Applique is a design that you put on top of a bag, like you stitch around. Like, for instance, this is embroidery, but it could be fabric that's non-fraying, and you could stitch down the Sew VIP Magical on top of it. Reverse applique is when you cut out the symbols in the main fabric, and then you place a piece of fabric behind it, and you stitch over it. Is that already made themes and somehow you attach it to the bag? No, it's you pre-make them out. You could buy like patches or applique. If you're trying to buy patches, say, ooh, so magical, and you sew it around, that's called an onto a piece of fabric. That's applique. You could try to sew it on a pre-made bag, but it could be incredibly difficult, and the stitches could be inconsistent. And it's generally on a piece of the pattern that's going to be shown think of it like the badges on like a Girl Scout or a Boy Scout. When they stitch on the badges, that's an applique. So I want to do a really cute one. I have this really cool Star Wars one in my head. I just got to see if I have all the fabric that I want to do with it, because I want to make it nice and breezy and cool. So I need to do that. That's my plan today. Finish A, Scarlet Witch, B, cut out Ava, film Ava, and and order stuff for a client for their backpack that have the RFD fabric and all the things that they want for security purposes. Tomorrow I'm filming Kindle. It's not going to be a fast make video, because it's one of him showing you and giving you the techniques of wax canvassing, and then it has to cure. And then once it cures, then he can iron it and we can show you. But the curing process, depending on how cold or hot, it's kind of like baking. Humidity and moisture and all that stuff factors in the curing process. It could take as little as 48 hours, or it could take up to 72 hours or more. So we have to see off of that, because we have a couple cold days this week. And again, today's supposed to snow, which, I mean, I felt it yesterday. I told you yesterday there was like this weird wet crispness in the air, and it was like super bright. It was like the calm before the storm. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like. The ground is still solid. Even though we had a few days that were warm, the ground is still solid. So it may or may not stick. It all depends. And then tomorrow I have a couple bags I'm trying to cut out, so that way I can film them ahead of time, that have been requested, like the Country Cow, and I want to film the Country Cow wallet, but I might also be doing a different style version of that. You can adding things to a pre-made bag is really difficult. I'm trying to see, like, this is the Mabel that me and Patreon are making. I did some modifications. This is my test bag. That's why you see it in a million different pieces, colors, because I keep no scrap to get behind. If you were adding like a patch, I oddly have patches everywhere. Like if you wanted to add a patch here, you would need to sew it on, and it would have to go through all layers. It's easier to put on a patch or a symbol when the bag is completely deconstructed prior to making the bag. When you do it this way, you're going to need double-sided tape and make sure that every stitch is absolutely correct in order for you to do it. That's called applique. Now, a reverse applique is you would cut out a box on your main pattern, stick your fabric underneath, and then sew around it. So I don't recommend you adding appliques to an already existing bag, because it can make the bag look, it's really hard to get perfect measurements on it. Like if you're trying to add it to the bottom, you're going to have to try to match up all the seams, find the center, all that. It's really difficult. And it's sometimes, to me, this is personally me, I think it could look kind of obvious that you added something else on. Okay, as making a bag, then you just place whatever you want and then sew around it. Yeah, we are, Jamie. We're basically friends. We're besties. Yeah, I have people asking me to do applique and reverse applique classes for a Novus Nugget. That can't be a Novus Nugget. If you see any of my bags that I do applique, or I do designs to make them look like superheroes, those bags take me sometimes months. I've had a bag take me, my Captain Marvel bag took me a year to create the concept. And it's hard. Each bag is slightly different. Like if I go live today, somehow, some way, everyone's out of the house and I'm doing my applique onto my WandaVision, I'll try to go live so you can see it. It's hard to describe. It's something that I'm not really good at describing. It's not that I don't want to show you. It's just really difficult to do it. And if you're not, I'm confident with my top stitching. That is like one thing I'm hella. I feel like if there was like a top stitching showdown, I would be a heavy contender. I'm really good at top stitching. So when it comes down to applique or reverse applique, I don't even think twice. But I've talked to people that have attempted to do it, and then they're like, you can see all my wonky stitches or whatever. So for me, I always tell people practice makes progression. You need to practice your top stitching. You need to do it like quilters do when they're doing free motion. You need to become one with your machine, and you got this. As soon as you feel like the rhythm of your machine and you're like liking all your stitches, that's when you start appliquing. Yeah, you can totally make it. It just it takes time. You could totally make it 100%. Hands down, you can make it. Um, when I do the Ava, I'm not going, when I do the reverse applique for the Ava, I'm not going to show the applique on the bag, the front pocket. I'm just giving you guys a heads up because I already know what's going to happen. I'm going to make this bag and people are going to ask me specifically zero in on that applique. And then that's perfectly fine because that's why I make the applique, is to get people's attention. But all my bags that I'm making this from this point on until the beginning of July, I think, are all going to be super nerdy. None of like my Tula Pink, Riley Blake, Rashida Coleman fabrics, they're going to, or like my Ghastly collection, they're all going to be super nerdy, even my testing bags, because of the simple fact that I have conventions and my goal is to finish 4 bags a week. So that way I can have a nice inventory set and different, because there are people, especially in my area in the East Coast, that if they go to AwesomeCon, there might be a high probability they go to Otakon, or the people that go to Otakon go to my other ones. So I like to have a little bit of different variety. For AwesomeCon, I'm trying to bring brand new Star Wars and Star Trek merchandise. For Shore Leaf, more of the Star Trek. For Otakon, like everything anime, everything like cookie and creepy, so some Wednesday stuff, try to do something a little bit different. Good morning. Yeah, it's just practice makes progression. Seriously. You have, like, I do it all the time. If you were my part of my Patreon totally helped me out this month, like mentally, because I was so stressed about teaching at So Magical that I couldn't focus on our Patreon. And all I wanted to do was, we were trying to make this bag look like the Soho bag. As you can see, there's writing everywhere. This is my muslin. So when I made it, I didn't want the Mabel bag has the flap attached to here, and I wanted it to have it like the Soho bag from Michael Kors. So we have it attached to here. We're gonna have a center divider pocket. This is going to be our zipper. We have all these weird, cool modifications going on. And if you look at the bag is not perfect because this is my muslin. I have literally writing on like every single piece of this, like what I need to add, what I need to remove. And I have vinyl also on the inside because this is, I had the most of in my fabric bin. No scrap goes behind with me. Like, I need all the scraps I can get. Yes and no. Like, if I'm doing a testing or if I'm showing you how to make a bag, yes. But like, for example, like the most I produce video wise is probably 2 videos a week. I make about 5 to 6 bags. Like, Monica sees them because she's usually the other person on the other line, but I just usually make them, tag them and put them in their respectable bins, so that way that they're put up and ready for the convention. Or if I have certain ones I think that will sell before the convention, I'll put up on my Etsy. But most of the time I don't film the things that I'm making because I've already made them a million times and just I'm going for it. And then I just have a routine about bagging and tagging and marking my inventory so that I know what I have for the conventions. Trust me, bagging and tagging for the convention is a whole different, I don't know how people do it so fast. I feel like that is the most painstaking, long thing to do when you are getting ready for a convention. And I'm getting ready for them. And then, so I'm just doing like little things here and there. As I make videos, you'll see them, but that's probably just about it. That's what I plan on doing. It is so much work because, like, on my tags, I have the price and I also put down what the materials are made of, because there are people that just want something that's purely vegan. No, they don't want they don't want anything with leather or leather by process. There's some people that don't want anything with PVC. And so I'm like, this is cork, this is leather, this is, vinyl, this is made out of, there's a really cool material on Spoonflower. They have a vinyl that's made out of all like recycling water bottles. Like I put that information down too. So I write all that down, how many pockets it has, what color it is. And then I put down like if it's like the convertible tote from Blue Cala, I'll put like BC for Blue Cala. So I'm fully aware of what the bag is. It's a process. And my kids, usually it's Faith, when they come, they like mark off what bag sold. We write down what bag sold first. And we have like a whole tag process so that way we can not only keep inventory, but also we have knowledge, like our own built-in data of what bags do the best at what event. I do the same thing with Etsy. I write down, like I've told you, my number one seller on Etsy is the Erica Bowler bag. No matter how I make it, there's always someone that buys one. And then, but for each pattern designer, I can tell you what my favorite pattern is and what is the pattern that sells the best for me. So, and I'm going to be making a slew full of tall wallets, I think, next weekend. I got some really cool ribbon that is exactly like 2.5 inches wide, and I'm like super excited about it. So it's about to be tall wallet weekend. And I got some really cool magnets. I got some cool appliques to make like them all cork or all leather or all like faux leather, and then like have whatever applique, like whether it's Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever, have the magnet, and then like edge coat. So like I have a weekend where I'm sewing everything, and the next weekend I'll do edge coat on everything, and then we'll tag everything. But yeah, normally if there was a camera in my room when I'm done here, you'll be surprised. Like I'm usually sewing from the time I get off here until like 6 o'clock. And then on the weekends, if the mood strikes me, I'll just like be with the family for 2 hours, and then I'll film from like 9 to midnight. It's the pocket slots, the credit card slots. Most of the pockets that have like the credit card slots, like the PayPal or whatever, they asked you to have like some kind of ribbon. So I found some cheap one on at my store. I think it was at Hobby Lobby, and I'd never seen 2.5-inch ribbon wide, and I was like, yes. I have the templates. So the templates are easy peasy. I have the templates everywhere. I think these are the templates. I usually put what I'm going to sew behind me. So Nicole has her own templates, and you just slice through them. And her templates are nice because you can actually get a pen through this. I cannot tell you, I love templates, but I can't stand it when you can't stick an actual pen through that. That drives me absolutely batty. So I use her templates. Put everything in there. So I'm going to be using that one to make all my cool little nerdy wallets. And then for my bigger wallets, I like to use the NCW. So I'll be making, I want March to be like all my wallets in my pouches. So I'm hoping before the end of March, I can make 5 or 6 NCWs over a weekend. So that way I have those ready too. And then it'll be different totes. Yes, you can use landscape one. I don't know what happened to okay, so this could be totally me. This is totally me. I have like random stuff that happens to me that doesn't happen to everyone else. So I go to Home Depot, I get the landscape stuff, and it was cool. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like really cool. You could just slide your cards in it. Perfect, right? The landscape fabric, I was drinking water just out of my cup, and it spilled, and it started getting gummy. And I was like, damn it. I was like, so I've been looking for ribbon, because if anyone's like me, I spill on my phone. I spill on everything. I am a klutz. I am not saying this for sympathy. It's just who I am. Like, someone is a genius. So like, I'm a genius. You're like, yeah, cool. You're a genius. I'm a natural born klutz. So I want it ribbon, so that way if someone spills that it didn't happen to them. It could be just the landscape fabric that I got, because I didn't go, I think I went to Ace hardware store, and it didn't work for me. It did not work for me. So I have never made the pocket pal, but I know that people say that they use ribbon, so I found it. I found some, I think at Hobby Lobby, and it's like black, and it came in this massive roll, and I just bought the whole roll, and I'm going to use that. And I know they had, when I went to the front desk, they said sometimes they have it in white. So I'm like, I might check back in a couple weeks for lighter colors. So yep, that's pretty much my plans this weekend. I'm winding bobbins. I usually wind 3 for the net. And then I need to make a thank you gift for the person. I don't have any actual Wanda fabric. I was looking at it to see if I had any, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, there we go. I was looking to see if I had any Wanda fabric, and I don't have any. Kind of disappointed myself for that. So yeah, I've been just doing that. It's ribbon, landscape. I didn't check the weight. It's just like light ribbon, like the ribbon you would put on a package. You should, Nicole has the templates on her website, I believe. And if she's out of stock, just hit, like, there usually is like email me with notification, and that's how they're aware that this is something that's in demand and to order more, and they will notify you. Well, as soon as I seen it on her thing, I went and bought it. I want to get the Triskel wallet one, because I don't, I make those for my family members, and I make them for myself. If you were at So Magical and you see me whip out my wallet, that's the wallet I had. I think I've had that wallet for almost 3 years now. That's like my favorite wallet. I don't know. It has everything that you need, and the shapes of it is just amazing. And mine's is black with rainbow flecks, and I have all iridescent hardware on it. I love it. Good morning. It's a massive roll. I was looking for, but I think it's on the other side of the room. It's a massive thick roll, like, so I'm excited about that. They also have a 2-inch one that I got too, but when I look at the car slots, I might do better with the 2.5. I think the landscape, it does better because you can cut it down to the exact size that you need. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, that's all I'm doing. I was trying to think. Kendall's cooking today, so I don't have to worry about that. The kids are going to go with their granddad to eat lunch and hang out with their cousin. So I'll have the house nice and quiet for just like a brief moment in time. And if I'm still sewing, I'll just like randomly go live and show you. You could just see how I'm putting together my Wanda Annette, which is really funny. I have never made the Annette the original way. It looks like a pouch. So that's why I put a recess. I've never made it the original way. I've never even attempted to make it the original way. The first time I did it, I was like, oh, let's make it into a recess zipper. So that is what I'm doing. I need to do some edge painting around the Wanda cutout itself. I have it cut out, but I need to do some edge painting, and I'm wondering if I want to cut it out. I got some of Lauren's beautiful red fabric, and I'm thinking about using that for it, but I do have her cut out. I just gotta edge paint. This can work. I can wear this every day, all day. I could be Scarlet Witch. This is my dream. This is gonna be on the bag. I need to set fire. That's called, I don't know how to say that nicely. Melt your fabric. I need to set the lighter on this, and then I need to edge paint it all the way around, and then I'm going to start top stitching it. Yeah, this weirdly fits my head. This can happen. I've always wanted to be her. So I have that, and I'm actually gonna be making another Scarlet Witch. I wanted to make it today, but I might make it tomorrow, but not as an Annette. I have this idea for a Lola with red on red with different shades of red. So that might happen tomorrow because Lolas take like 5 seconds to cut out. So I might do that. I might see if Joanne, I see Joanne had WandaVision fabric, and I'm gonna see if Kendall can, when the kids are gone, if he could run to go see if there is any, because I would like to line it with that. But yeah, the Lola one size won't fit my head, so I can't play with it while I'm working. um, that's it. That's all I have planned today. You tuned in to Hair Shinova's Awkward. Play with the applique piece as a cosplay thing on her forehead. Now I'm thinking, oh yeah, and I'm sketching out my cosplay outfit for AwesomeCon. I'm going to do something Star Wars. I just haven't figured out what I want to do. I know I want to do one of the women of Star Wars, but I feel like a lot of people are going to come as Ahsoka because her TV series is coming out, even though I love Ahsoka. Only tattoo on my body. Just that's how much I love her. But I love Padme. I feel like everyone loves Leia because she was a badass, and she even proved it in the last part of the trilogy. She's a badass. Let's call a spade a spade. She's the best Jedi. And I love Rey because of her origins, proving that you're more than where you come from. But there's something about Padme that touches my heart. Like, she was a queen at 14. Come on, people. Like, let's call a spade a spade. She may have not wielded a Jedi saber, but she wielded the world. So I don't know. I also thought about being Planet Alderaan, but then I thought, no. So yeah. Yeah. I see a lot of people using ribbon. There's something else called with a B that I see people using for their slots too. I like watching different stuff. I've seen someone use interfacing. Like I use interfacing before. I use the black interfacing that was for tailoring shirts, like when they like if a cuff got too flimsy or whatever, they sew it in, and it works really really nice. It just got kind of a little too bulky. So I was like, let me see if I can decompress like the ribbon flatter. Yeah. So that's it, people. I hope everyone has a really good Saturday and you get to sew if you want to, or if you want to just chill, listen to books or read or binge watch some TV, rewatch Mandalorian before the first episode comes out on Wednesday. You know we're going to be talking about it, right? I won't ruin anything. I'll just be like, oh my God, did you see it? I need to catch up on Carnival Row. Fairies, man. That's all I got to say. Fairies and war. Like fairies with wings. Watch it. I hope everybody has an awesome day. I'll talk to you guys all real soon. Stay safe. Happy sewing. Bye.